Hello friends, it's Light. I've mentioned Genshin Impact on this channel once or twice before, and though I don't talk about it much on this channel, everywhere else you can definitely see how my work is primarily Genshin Impact since it's currently the main fandom that I draw fan art for. I've been with Genshin since version 1.0 and I've stuck with it ever since. Playing this game has practically been almost life-changing. In exaggeration a little bit, I was able to grow a bigger audience because of it, connect with and meet a lot of new friends, as well as having the honor of being an official HOYO creator and being able to work with HOYO-verse employees as well as be in an amazing creator space. So back in 2021, near the first anniversary of Genshin, I wanted to draw something that would showcase how much I cared about this silly gacha game. Once the first anniversary hit, I came out with this gigantic piece featuring the entire cast at that time. I've never drawn that many characters in one canvas before, and that wouldn't be the last. With every coming anniversary, I've added upon that piece with every new nation that has come, as well as the newly released characters that were playable that year. And this year, with the upcoming 4th anniversary, the canvas is gonna look a little funky. This is the piece from last year. It featured all of the characters that were introduced since the launch of 4.0 and Fontaine, but when adding Notlan, it's a little tricky trying to figure out exactly how to add them without it looking off-centered, and in the end, unfortunately, I think it does have to be off-centered for this year. When the piece is finalized, I want to be able to put Notlan on the left side while Shinatsunaya is on the right. So for this year's rendition, I want to be able to revisit all these characters and this piece in a video to do some touch-ups, but also add a new cast throughout the last year of Genshin Impact. Let's take a closer look at the piece first, going over the cast of characters that I've already drawn. So looking at this canvas, right side in the middle, we can already see our main characters, Aether, Lumine, and Paimon. Going down our character roster, we should have Amber, Barbara, Beidou, Bennett, Chongyun, Diluc, Fischl, Jean, Kaya, Ketching, Lisa, Mona, Ningguang, Noelle, Chi-Chi, Razor, Sucrose, Venti, Shenling, Xingqiu, Klee, Diona, Child, Xinyan, Zhongli, Albedo, Ganyu, Xiao, Hutao, Rosaria, Yanfei, Eula, Kazuha, Ayaka, Sayu, Yoimiya, Sara, Raiden Shogun, Kokomi, Toma, Ito, Goro, Shenhe, Yunjin, Yaimiko, Ayato, Yelan, Shinobu, Hazel, Kale, Tainari, Dori, Candice, Sino, Nilu, Nahida, Layla, Farazan, Wanderer, Ahita, Yaya, Dehya, Mika, Baiju, Kabe, Kirara, Linny, Lynette, Femine, Novelette, Risley, Charlotte, Farina, Nabia, Gloriand, and Sijun. Quite a mouthful to say all of them in a row, but we still need to fill in everybody else that we've seen this year, so I'm going to go ahead and show a speed paint of all of them while I talk a little bit about each character. So starting off with this year's roster, we have Chevreuse. If I'm being honest, she's one of the characters I kind of forgot about because I didn't get her until quite literally last week during Kenichi's banner. I didn't fully get to play the quest that she was in with Yoimiya and Shiori since I was busy at that time, but I do like her design and it reminds me of the other video that I made with my friends, drawing Genshin Impact characters by memory. Cough. But it was nice being able to draw Chevreuse, especially since she only had an eye patch, which made it easier to draw. Next is Gaming, our favorite line boy who made his debut during Lanterite. Fun fact about Gaming, once his strip marketing came out, there was a convention about 2-3 weeks from then, and I decided, what if I made a Gaming cosplay from scratch? And I did it! And I don't have a lot of sewing experience, but being able to make Genshin cosplay completely from scratch was quite the experience, and I'm never gonna do that again. Shanyan, aka Cloud Retainer. Cloud Retainer's human design wasn't something that was new to those who were able to see it during previous events. She has such a gorgeous design, but it is such a shame that they didn't put the same energy to the other two Adepti. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. Chiori has such a beautiful design, but I think after drawing her like maybe twice now, I've come to the conclusion that she's kind of one of the harder characters for me to draw personally. Something about her intricate patterns on her clothes along with the layers, it's really gorgeous but a pain to draw. Arlecchino, one of the most anticipated characters from Fontaine, the Harbinger and Father herself. I was very excited and lucky to be able to get her as well as her weapon. It's crazy to think about how long we've waited for the Harbingers to be playable like this, and this makes me curious for the other Harbingers to come if they decide to make the rest of them playable. Sethos' introduction was actually one of my most favorite things of all time. Sino was one of the characters that I really enjoy, and I was really sad that despite being one of the oldest Genshin characters that we've known of, we barely knew anything about him and his backstory, and Sethos was able to give that. And I really enjoyed how he became to be a character and how he's grown to be a part of the Kumaru. Also, his English voice actor, Zena Robinson. Come on. Emily. I admit I was one of those people who didn't like Emily's design and preferred the leaked beta designs that were put out. Though I'm not a fan of the color scheme, she's really pretty and she's grown on me a little bit. I don't have much of an opinion on her since I don't have her, but I do know with her, Dendro DPS kind of goes crazy now for meta. A fun fact, at first I thought her name was Emile, like from Ratatouille. I learned later it was in fact Emily. Now moving on to the entire Natlan section. I had to increase the canvas size on both sides, making sure that the overall canvas is symmetrical so I can add onto either side for the future completed piece. For the borders, as you can see, I've lined each section based on the flowers of the nation, and for Natlan, I decided to go with the Embercore flowers. We're just gonna go ahead and draw our guidelines for where we want the borders and the characters to go, and we will move from there. I decided to just paint one Embercore flower and copy paste the individual flower as the border. I'm running on like 2 days here, I need to rush. And it looks pretty good, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about each Natlan character so far. Mualani, I absolutely was in love with her and her design when I saw her. I'm such a sucker for water-based characters, so hydro units are usually high favorites and her gameplay is such a joy. Surfing throughout Natlan really helps carry the exploration. Kachina. I didn't have much of an opinion on Kachina until the Archon quest, and now she makes me sob. Like, that is the sweetest, littlest warrior right there. And I really like her sisterly relationship with Mualani, and it's so sweet, and I really hope we get to see more of her, Mualani, and Kinich is really cool. I really like his design, and I really love his dynamic with his little buddy Aho. His 8-bit gamer aesthetic is really cool, and the only thing that isn't cool about him is that he hasn't come home yet. We'll see if I get him by the end of his banner. Shilonin. Shilonin's design is so pretty, and as of this upload, the character for the next upcoming limited banner. As somebody who usually plays with mostly swirl, Geo characters aren't usually ones that I collect, but I love her aesthetic nonetheless. Seat Lily. We won't be able to see much of Granny Seat Lily until the next patch after the anniversary, but I'm excited to see a little bit more of her. Admittedly, I initially thought that her design was one of the weaker ones from the Natlan cast, but drawing her made me realize that she's got a lot of details and overlooked charms that made me really admire her character now. Chaska. Like most people, I'm not a big fan of her design. Being super honest, I think it has something to do with the color choices, but character-wise, I think she's pretty interesting, and it was really intriguing to find out more about her character as well as her dynamic with her sister during the Archon quest. Odoron. Like other characters, Odoron is not gonna have screen time until the next Archon quest. I have pretty mixed feelings about him, I'm going to be really honest, but his Japanese voice actor is Takashi Kondo, the same voice actor as Hibari Kyoya from KHR, so that's gonna be fun for me to hear. Yansan. Our Trailvale character Yansan was our preview character for Natlan. It's almost crazy being able to see characters from the preview trailers be released one by one. It goes to show how long our journey has been with this game, and I'm really excited to be able to play her whenever she gets released. And finally, our last character, the Pyro Archon Voika. I'm very interested to see how Natlan will tackle her story, seeing that she's the only Archon who is entirely human and has held her title as being an Archon while being known as a human. Seeing the Traveler presently isn't able to resonate with the Pyro element, I wonder if she'll be the gateway for us to access it in the future. Finishing off the characters, I decided to create the background based off of the screenshot that I had of the scenery of Natlan, and I also decided to go in and adjust some of the facial expressions of the Archon since I didn't want them all to just be sitting there smiling like they were in the previous versions. And finalizing the finishing touches, here is the final piece for this year's anniversary. Whoa! Okay, you can't really see the details up much within the video, but I will post close-ups on my Instagram if anybody is interested to see all the details of the characters, however messy they may be. Well, I can't believe it's already been 4 years with Genshin Impact. I've honestly stuck with this game a lot longer than I thought I would, and I really wish I could have recorded my whole progress with the past couple of versions, but I'm really happy that I'm able to make a video about this year's progress, and who knows what the next year will bring. So thank you for drawing with me, guys, and until next time. By the way, did you know I have a Discord server? You can click the link in the bio to join now. Yeah, I haven't been able to advertise it a lot. We're a small community who really likes to share art and talk about silly fandom things. Come and join us if you'd like. I'm going to make sure to constantly post updates on wherever I post, despite which social media platform it may be. You can get updates on whatever I post on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, wherever I may post. So for real, until next time.
You